Hello Intuitors, it's Aria here and welcome to the Intuit Cafe. My plan in the weeks and the months ahead is to release a weekly reading by the sign of the zodiac, and in that reading I'll start out with a card spread that will give me like kind of a story, what the situation is, and then I'll be asking what are the blocks, what are the things that are preventing this situation from moving forward. Then at the end of that, you're going to have the opportunity to choose from 4 different action outcomes that might be the possible guidance for you at this time. And this is where I really am excited about giving you the opportunity to learn and hone your own intuition, to pick a reading that will either at that time help you know what's the best course of action to take or what's a course of action to avoid. Another way that you can use the readings at the end is if you're watching it and you're wondering what someone of that sun sign might end up doing at that time, then you can set the intention that whatever reading that you're guided to watch will be the most likely action or outcome that they take at this time, and it can kind of give you some insights on how things might progress in the future. So the way I view divination and utilizing your intuition to find or divine the kinds of information that are brought forth in readings like this is that basically once the reading is created, it's in the collective consciousness to an extent. And it has a specific frequency based on whatever it contains. So whatever frequency you yourself are tuned into at that time is like a certain trajectory. It's the direction that you're headed. And I really believe that as time goes on and you start learning how to tune into your own intuition, you truly will have the opportunity to attract the reading that has the most pertinent information for you at that time. And the same thing also works if you're watching this reading in regards to someone else. And you're thinking to yourself, okay, so this whole scenario really matches up to I know what's happening, but I don't have any control over what actions they take. And then you're asking your higher knowing to show you the reading that has the most likely match to where their frequency is at this time. And that's why you can end up getting a message that will be predictive of their next move. That rather than just saying, here's a general reading for everybody, it's saying, here's a starting point for everyone who's watching. If that starting point doesn't match up for you at this time, then maybe go watch a different sign of the zodiac, maybe your moon or your rising sign. But if it does resonate with you at this time, then you have the opportunity to pick the action or the outcome that are most in tune with where your trajectory is headed based on the frequency you're at. Now, without any further ado, let's get right into today's reading. Hello Pisces. Wow, this is a really beautiful reading. It's definitely about love. You almost never see the sun and the moon card come up in a reading unless it is, it is just about love. I know these are hard to see, but there they are. So we have a reading about love here. And what's going on with that? Well, it does look like with the mouse and the sun, there has been some worry, some eating away, perhaps even things have been, depleted or taken away in the sense of love. For some of you, it means you have broken up with someone and they're no longer in your life, or you feel like you haven't had much of a love life because, there's all kinds of things that have just taken away from your love experience. But next to the sun, it's indicating that there's definitely going to be a huge positive change in regards to anything. So whatever was being eaten and taken away in the past is now being restored to you. So in the sense that maybe you are, you have had a relationship with someone that was kind of on the rocks and things weren't working out really well, it looks like that's what's being indicated here is that that's going to turn around, because whatever was falling apart, decaying, and being destroyed and taken away is now being returned to you. For some of you, it will mean a new person, however, because it could be just love in general that was being, falling apart and not in your life now, that you're going to be experiencing that in partnership with someone, because we have the sun and the moon. The sun and the moon are really the archetype of the masculine and the feminine, and together, they're really, really talking about love, loving relationship. Everything that comes up in this special combination is about that. It even talks about the alchemical process of two becoming one and your energies combining. And it really talks about things in the regards to love are really overcoming any negativity that might have occurred there. So that's why I feel like this mice here, it's going to be in the past and very soon for you, if it isn't already. Now, the book and the Anchor Together talk about some kind of information that comes to you, seeking out information, seeking the truth, finding the truth of something, and you can really be sure about that. But it also talks about doing your due diligence, in a sense that you, you know, you kind of put in some effort and work into really, you know, finding out all that you can. For example, there's a lot of different ways this could play out, but like if it is a relationship, the relationship is really turning around and becoming positive because you've done your work on yourself, or, you know, you've really delved into the knowledge and the information that helps you, you become a better, stronger person, and so then you're able to have a better, stronger relationship, for example. And it could really even be talking about an important secret or information. It could have something to do with a love relationship, but I'm feeling more just in that sense of yourself. And so if some of you really are not quite here yet, then this is saying that that will be a really important piece in order to, you know, bring in the sunshine that then dispels the, you know, the fear and the nagging and the gnawing and the taking away from your love experience, in order for this to happen, because you know, you have the opportunity to really change things by getting anchored in your own deep wisdom and knowledge of, you know, self growth and that kind of thing. Let's see what areas these are in specifically. Okay, so this is good. We have the sun here. The anchor is in the house of the sun. And so very positive for, you know, the sun bringing in a lot of positive energy for anchoring in and getting very strong, you know, like there's a very firm, something very firm is happening here. And this information does come up in the house of the cross, which is about spirituality. So it's just like I was saying, I really do feel that for most of you, this is referring to the work, kind of spiritual work that you're doing on yourself. And that spiritual work is really, you know, it is sunshine in the sense that it is highlighting those parts of you, and then helping you anchor it in, so that you, you know, you're not so easily tossed around. So for example, if in your relationship you were experiencing a lot of troubles because you didn't have a really secure sense of your own self-worth, that your spiritual work that you're doing now is helping you achieve that more. And then which, you know, helps do away with the mice, because the anchor and the mice kind of have that, you know, that same type of energy of the sun. The sun helps to overcome the energy of the negative energy of the mice, and so does the anchor. It talks about overcoming losses, and like you now have this strength, this inner strength, that you're guarding yourself. And you're also, it talks about putting your own interests first and not giving into other people's demands. Being able to overcome energy vampires, because the anchor is protective. And so, but still your diligence in the matter of you doing your spiritual growth here is indicated in order for this to be achieved. It's not like this just happens all by magic. You know, you did your work and you really, you know, you made this happen. So, this is, because the card is first here, it does talk about that the mice is something that is, it's really causing irritations to you in your past or even now in your love, and you really do need to deal with it. So I do feel like this reading is coming up for some of you because you're not really all here yet. This is where you're headed. And so in order for this situation to be dealt with, this is what you do. Now I know this is kind of getting into action outcome. You'll see more in the action outcome as well, but I really, there's a lot here. So the mice is in the information, messages, and that kind of thing. So I do feel like there could be communication with you and a particular person that was taking away from your happiness. It was eating at you. It was eating at your relationship with them. And then the sun is in the house of the coffin. So it even looks like whatever this was going on here, it really caused almost a complete halt to your love life. In fact, I think for some of you, this is just in the past. This is how you were in relationships in the past. You kept attracting relationships into your sphere that you kept experiencing this because it was something in you, your spiritual growth, that needed to be shifted and changed. Your frequency and your energy needed to be shifted in order to bring about this new ability to have a beautiful love, you know, very lovely love life. And so there really was a halt in love for you. And that will shift and change because of this. The moon comes up in the house of the clover, so it really is like, I'm feeling like if this is the archetype of the masculine and the feminine, then someone comes in a very unexpected way and quite out of the blue. And also serendipitous. The moon and the clover together talk about serendipities and, you know, just kind of like things by magic. I think I pretty much addressed everything here. If you really want some more specific insights about an action and an outcome that could take place, if you're looking at this whole spread and you feel like it's about someone else other than yourself, then set the intention that that action and outcome video that you pick at the end here will be about what they're likely to do. But I really feel for most of you, this is just something, a message that really can resonate with all of us and in a personal way. And so set the intention that that video that you choose at the end, you'll be guided to choose the one that will have the best suggested actions and the outcome for you at this time. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you around next week.